Welcome to Maths for All. I'm Aisling Flynn. This is measure 1.4, the trapezoidal rule. Trapezium. A trapezium is a shape which has at least two parallel sides. So like this shape here, it's like a winner's podium in athletics. Okay, you can see that the top and the bottom of this shape are parallel. Here's another one. It's not so symmetrical, but the top and the bottom are parallel. They make trapeziums. The parallel sides are called bases, and a trapezium is sometimes called a trapezoid, particularly in the US. In your formula and tables books that's provided in your exam, you'll find this formula for the area of a trapezium. Okay, so what you must do is add the length of both bases, top and bottom, A and B, divide them by 2, therefore you get an average of them, and multiply that by the perpendicular height. Now we can use what we've just seen to help us estimate the area of curved irregular shapes. Okay, how do we do that? Well, first we cut up this shape into a series of strips like that. Okay, so all the lines must be parallel, and by joining them end to end, we create a number of trapeziums. Okay, if we calculate the area of each of these trapeziums and add them together, what we get is an estimate of the area of the curved shape. Okay, it's an estimate because you see it's not the perfect answer. Some of the trapeziums leave out part of the area of the curved shape, and others add in some area that's not part of the original shape. Okay, these cancel out somewhat, but the method will not give the perfect answer. It gives an estimate. Okay, so remember the area for a trapezium. Our trapeziums here are sideways. Okay, they've been rotated by 90 degrees. Just note the bases. So the first base and the last base will only be used once, but the other bases, the other vertical lines, will be used twice. Once for the bottom of trapezium 1 here, for example, but also for the top of trapezium 2. So the internal lines here will be used twice, and this is where the trapezoidal rule formula comes from. That formula is also provided for you in the formula and tables booklets. Let's just look at what it looks like. Okay, so H refers to the height of your trapeziums, which are sideways, and it's important that each of those is equal. So in dividing up your shape, it's divided up equally. Okay, so H would be the same the whole way along. Y1 refers to the first base there, which is on the outside, and that one's only going to be used once. Yn refers to the last one. So if you have 7 bases, there would be Y7. If you have 9 bases, it would be Y9. Okay, so N just refers to the last one. Okay, so your formula here, let's compare this one to the estimate down here. You see it uses the approximately equal sign, which means it's an estimate. You still have to multiply by H, and you're still going to divide by 2 according to the original formula, but you use the first base once, the last base once, and twice all the others. Okay, twice the others. Yn minus 1, well, that subscript refers to the second to last one. Okay, so don't worry too much about those little numbers. It's the first and the last plus twice the others. And that is the trapezoidal rule. So let's see it in use. Okay, this was an exam paper question from 2017, ordinary level, leaving cert. And you're asked, a field is divided into 8 sections as shown below. The width of each section is 3 meters. The height in meters of each section is given in the diagram. And it tells you to use the trapezoidal rule to estimate the area of the field. Okay, So the first thing is, what I always do is to write down the formula at the top of the page. Okay. In addition, I would probably write h beside the number 3, y1 beside 4, yn beside the 8, and the other numbers. Okay. And then you substitute. So 3 goes in instead of h. We have the first plus the last, so that's 4 plus 8 plus 2 times the others. So all the other numbers get added after the 2. Okay? And then it's just a matter of calculating, working out. Remember, BIMDAS always applies. So we're going to add all the numbers in the bracket first. We can add the 4 and the 8 because they don't interfere. All right. Next, we're going to multiply 2 times the bracket. Okay. Then we're going to, I'm missing a few brackets there. Then we're going to add what's inside the square brackets. Okay. Then we have to multiply that number by 3 and divide it by 2. Okay, so multiplying by 3 and dividing by 2. And this is my finished answer, 145.8 meters squared. That's my estimate. Okay, the other way you might be asked using the trapezoidal rule is you might be given an area and you're asked to work backwards and find one of the individual heights or bases, or indeed the height h. And this is just a substitution exercise, and then move things around. Okay, the area of the same field was re-estimated by applying the trapezoidal rule again. This time a different section width, 4 meters, and a different set of section heights were used as shown. And the area was found to be 145.6 meters squared. Use this information to find the value of the height marked X on the diagram. Okay, again, write your formula at the top of the page and substitute what you do know. Okay. So you see now we have 4 over 2, 4 plus 8 plus 2 times the others. Now X appears up there in red as one of the others. So that's all you can do. Substitute what you know, and then we'll figure the rest out. Also, you do know the answer for A, area, and you can replace that with what you know, 145.6. And now we're just going to simplify according to BIMDAS, okay, as much as we can. So we've added the numbers within the bracket as much as we can. We still have plus x. And multiplying that bracket by 2, you get 51 plus 2x. Adding numbers that we can add, you get the 63. And multiplying 2 by the square bracket. This is what we get. So we have 4x appears there on the right. You can pause this at any stage to just look at the steps with more time. Now, solving for x, we're going to subtract 126 from both sides. Okay, and you get 4x is more or less equal to 19.6. And solving for x, you divide both sides by 4, and you get your x is approximately equal to 4.9 meters. Sorry there, let's skip. Go back there. There, so the red line, you include what's above the horizontal and below the horizontal all as one. Okay, and that's your total for Y2. Okay, now you try some of those questions with your quiz and your written exercise. And here's a short glossary.